All right. Welcome, all you sports fans, to the Off the Rails podcast. I'm here with the ever enlightening and ever enchanting Scott. He's my NASCAR guy. I know you think I know everything, but actually, when it comes to NASCAR, Scott knows eminently more than I do. So we're gonna do a podcast once or twice a week. We're just gonna talk about the world of sports. How you doing today, brother Scott?
I'm doing well, doing well. A little more than just NASCAR. Let's talk a little about hockey too, eh? And some March Madness, eh?
God, I love this guy. I love this guy. Coming straight from in and out. All right, let's
Ah,
let's let's start with. I'm a little feisty today. I'm a little on edge. So let's start with NASCAR.
yeah.
I always like to beat up Fox a little. Um,
So easy.
it's so easy. It's
Boogity
it's
boogity boogity. Ah,
how much do I miss that? Um,
ah,
I didn't think I'd ever say that. I miss the days of DW where he would pick 40 guys before the race started, and then with
ah.
two laps left, Larry McReynolds would go, Daryl, you picked that guy, didn't you? He goes,
Yeah,
well, sometimes I've just got the gift. I'm like, yeah, you
yeah,
sure do, buddy.
yeah. It
Tennessee
was a talk
whiskey.
in the garage. It was a talk in the garage, and I was listening. I was listening. Everybody said that the 20 was the look for.
So
Okay.
maybe you can explain to me in your eminent wisdom how every time they have a big crash, Fox doesn't seem to have a camera on it. They got 800 cameras there,
Right.
and the chatter was everybody on the sites, the Reddit, the social media was, how come Fox can't show it in live time? The wreck. What do
Right.
you
And
think that
then
is?
I it's just I don't know if they can cut to the camera or they're just not focusing on where the good races are at. That's the thing with Dale Earnhardt. He always talks about like when you're seeing it live, you're able to focus on the good racing.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody
Mm-hmm.
really wants to see an 8-second lead by Bell taking off. And them talking about when the red tire comes, Joey Logano is going to come in.
Right.
And they only get two sets of those. It's like
Right.
and Boyer, he was watching the wreck happen, and he was like, "I was trying to tell you guys, but they didn't get over there fast enough." He was seeing it going to happen,
I
but
I will say this, and I don't know what is going on with Fox, but they seem like they have a mission to make Kevin Harvick this star, right?
oh yeah,
And I think he's gotten a lot better. Okay. I'm going to say
yep,
that. I think in the last 3 years, he's gotten a lot better. But I think Clint Boyer is the real superstar in that booth. He sets up Kevin Harvick, and Kevin Harvick eats all day. And then he doesn't
yeah,
like, I thought there was a great line last week. I don't know if you saw it. You might have been out partying with your family and
oh
stuff.
yeah,
He
yeah,
lives that great life. But
oh yeah, PNW baby.
yeah, exactly. PNW forever. Um, but Clint set up Kevin so nicely. And then Kevin started going through his thing, which, okay, he's kind of the star in the booth. And then at the end, he goes, oh, and I want to also say Allmendinger. And then Clint even looked at him and goes, can't you leave a little meat on the bone? Can't you leave something for me to talk about? And I was like, yeah, right. It's all about
Yeah,
him and it's
and
all about what he wants to do.
yeah, it's true. I think Boyer and Stewart really matched up really well. You
Hmm.
know, but I also think it's also too back when the Haas they were both on Stewart Haas. Harvick was the dominant driver.
Absolutely.
You know, in
Absolutely.
2018 was the last time we saw somebody win three in a row. That was Harvick. Also
Okay.
went on
Okay.
I think he won the championship that way. Are we seeing Bell? Is Bell that pissed off now since he got cut for his little legality at the last year and did get in the final four that I
Yeah.
think Bell would win the championship. I mentioned that before the season even started. I'm like, that guy's hungry. It's going to be Bell and Larson at the end, I think.
I don't even know what track they end up at. Do they end up at Phoenix this year? I don't know
Phoenix,
offhand.
yeah,
Okay.
they
So,
end up at Phoenix. Bell won there last year. He won here this year.
right, right,
He,
right.
but some.
That's not really a, go ahead.
No, I'm just the spring race doesn't really mash up with the fall race for some reason.
No,
All
it
of a sudden,
doesn't. It doesn't.
the Fords actually show up and actually win. You know, they
Right.
dominate. We've seen them dominate in Daytona now. We've seen them dominate at Phoenix, doing well, and then I don't know, they fall off. They can't be any worse than JGR where 2311. Both of them are blowing up rotos for some reason. Uh, that front rake just blew up and they went into the wall. Bubba and Joe Gibbs. Yeah, little Gibbs there, baby Gibbs,
We're
whatever.
basically not even a tenth through the season,
No,
and
not even close.
speed always bleeds, right? And
Yep,
I'm always
yep,
leery of the guys who start out like a house on fire. I more am inclined to think, really, it's who can catch fire in the chase, right? I mean, that's really
agreed,
what it is,
agreed.
right?
Yeah, but you
And
got to
Chevy
bank
does
these
it.
points. Yeah, you got to
Mm-hmm.
bank these points. We've learned a
I
long time
agree.
ago. You got to bank these
You're right.
points because you look at Larson. He had a couple bad races, and then he had the Indy 500 where he got dock points type
Right.
deal that
Right.
hurt him, and then Denny Hamlin got hurt by points. You
Yeah.
need the points throughout the year. So it's
Absolutely,
it's
brother.
interesting.
But
Yeah,
in it lies the problem for me. I'm not as big of a fan as you. I'm not as knowledgeable as you. I act like I
yeah,
am, but I'm not. Okay.
yeah.
But
It's a lot of
at the end of
bullshit in
the
here. That's what we do.
yeah, okay. Hey, that's off the rails. So, but the problem for me is I don't give a flying F about I got a point for a stage win or, I mean, I know they got to kind of keep the race interesting. They don't want something
Yeah.
like Fontana used to be, where some guy is
Oh,
literally 3.5 miles ahead of the next guy,
yeah. Poking
which
out.
was terrible. Yeah, Pocono. Yeah, exactly. I
Yeah.
understand they're trying to break up the race and make it a little more equitable, but for the life of me, when I watch that and I compare it to F1, and honestly, the best thing for me in motorsports is the F1 practice. Nothing
Oh,
compares
amen.
to the practice, right? I mean,
Amen.
the race is
Amen.
okay, but
Yeah.
that practice,
Yeah.
they figured it out. They got
Yeah.
gold there,
Yeah. I
you
love
know?
watching practice at F1. I do. I do really love it.
We got to see last week, them roll out the Ferrari for Lewis Hamilton. And I'm telling you, I don't know
Ooh.
what's coming. I don't know what's coming,
He's
but he seems excited.
he's testing fast. He
Yeah.
got a team that is actually listening to what he wants,
Hmm.
unlike what he's been dealing with the last few years.
Right. Right. He's the fallen god, right?
Yeah.
That's what he
Yes, he
was. It was
is.
like you're the Jimmy Johnson of 2011. Okay, yeah, you were
Oh,
great, but yeah, now yeah, we got to go
yeah.
see what Denny Hamlin wants. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. How can Jimmy Johnson have a team and Denny Hamlin have a team and Jimmy Johnson's team is just struggling? You know,
I
and they're both
I
with
don't understand.
Toyota. Either
Right.
way. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Maybe they don't all share the information like they say they do.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's why Denny Hamlin says he's playing mean, but he doesn't because he knows he needs that JGR information.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah. It's like
So
Penske. Penske hides so much Ford stuff from everybody else too. It's like, oh, where's Front Row Racing? They look pretty good. They're
well,
nowhere
we
to be
got to
found.
we got to make sure we get another title for Joey Logano, okay? The chosen one,
Hey,
the
hey,
golden
hey,
one, okay? Hey,
hey,
hey, hey.
hey.
Don't hate. Don't
Sliced
hate.
bread. Don't forget his nickname, Sliced Bread.
I love Mark Martin, but I wish he wouldn't have gave him that name.
Yeah, it was him and Bill Elliott that gave him that name.
Okay.
Best thing since sliced bread. Yeah.
Mark Martin. I wonder
Uh,
what Mark Martin's doing today.
uh, selling cars, selling
Yeah,
cars. He has
in
like, I
Arkansas.
think he has, yeah, Florida and Arkansas. I think he has a couple
Yeah, I think you're
dealerships.
right. I think you're
Yeah.
right.
Don't get too close to the Hendrick dealerships though. They got to keep sponsoring Kyle Larson.
God. So where do they head to this week? I don't even know.
Vegas, Vegas. We're still on the West Coast swing. I know they don't go to California anymore. You know, the
I
condos are not built around the half-mile track yet, or whatever they're waiting on.
Maybe they're going to make it a road course, Scott, and we're just going to go through the parking garage and up the alley. For anybody who doesn't know, I live in Southern California. Scott decided he was going to go live in the Pacific Northwest with all his beautiful family. But I was out to Fontana probably about a month and a half ago, and supposedly the rumor was they were going to build a short track or
Yep.
something like that. And I'm telling you, they couldn't make a drag strip out there. I mean, literally, there's condos and warehouses everywhere. And I don't know what the future is for Southern California racing, but it sure isn't going to be in Fontana.
Yeah. Well, it was a Kaiser steel mill. Remember when it first got
Right,
built? It was
right,
it was
right.
said that nothing else could be built on there because this is it. you know, all the leakage of oil and blah blah blah. You
Right.
know, sorry, I got Tom and Jerry in the background here. Two dogs
That's
barking at a
okay. I
cat.
love your dogs. Love your dogs. You know
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
When there's enough money, all that environmental stuff goes away. That's your boy
Right,
Trump, right?
right.
Let's just
True
get it
that.
going. Let's get it going.
Hey,
Let's get it
hey,
going, right?
hey,
Okay.
there's parts up here that are all excited about cutting down more trees. That's
Okay.
just more mountain
Okay.
bike trails for me. That's all it is.
Oh, you're an animal. All right, let's go over to so let's just get a brief synopsis. You in a minute. Tell me what you thought of the race overall, Phoenix.
You know, NASCAR's done a really thing about not going forward in anything.
Hmm.
They were paused out with everything, carburetor, blah, blah. And
Hmm.
then with the Gen 7 car, Gen 7, this is the seventh generation that they've tried to get this right.
Okay.
And they're doing everything aero and trying to get away from horsepower. And they're finally catching on to F1 and Indy about bringing in different tire compounds. And I think they're finally getting it right.
Okay.
It made the race a lot better than what it was going to be.
They
I
went to
think
a
Bell,
softer compound. They went to a softer compound this week,
yeah.
right?
And you only got two sets.
Okay.
You only
Okay.
got two sets of the softer compound, which made the car drivable for, 50 laps or so.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
And, we saw the tire management, we saw everything. It made the race a lot better. We saw people, Dylan up there, Priest up there that we wouldn't have seen up there.
Right.
These are like fourth tier NASCAR level, owners. Their
Horsevar.
drivers are
Yeah.
good.
Hmm.
Yeah, Hocevar. That kid. I think he might win Vegas. I wouldn't be down on that. That would be my
Okay.
long shot.
All
But
right.
yeah, I'm very happy that they're finally getting this tire compound right. We haven't seen anything like this since Hoosier came in for a while. That
Okay.
was what 20 years ago when they
Been
brought
a
Hoosier
while.
in.
Been a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute. But
Hmm.
overall, I liked the race just for that one reason, or else it was going to be a snooze fest. I think Bell would have took off and just see you later.
Yeah.
I don't
Right.
think anybody would have caught him.
Clean air. Clean air.
Yeah, clean air. Give me the clean air. You know.
Right.
Yeah, there was a lot of people going up and down. I mean, that tire helped Logano from his mistake to get
Hmm.
back up to where he got, but then he burnt the tires up, and then I
Yeah.
think he fell down to like 18th or something like that because he
Yeah.
couldn't keep up.
He washed away
But
quick. Kind of like Kyle
yeah,
Busch on the road track the week before. I mean, at some point you just fall off.
nah.
I mean, it
Yeah,
was unfortunate. I thought he was going to
I
get there.
I thought he got fifth. I think he got fifth.
I
Chase
fifth or
Elliott.
sixth, fifth or sixth. I
Yeah,
mean,
but
but he was holding him.
yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. But um, that was good racing and at Coda, and the bump that Bell hit, bent that sway bar, and that's what messed up his car. He would
Okay.
have held on to him a little longer, but hey,
Right.
that is good racing. Not like freaking Cendric that went and punted Ty Dillon after the race was over, and NASCAR didn't do no fine.
Thanks.
They came up with this
Right.
big old rule about fining people about hitting after the race, and they didn't do it.
Right.
Don't
All
want to
right.
piss off Penske.
All right. Well, we're going to get Scott's picks a
Yeah.
little later in the week for Vegas. You
Oh
bring
yeah.
that fire, brother. You bring that fire.
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
bring
That
in some Jay's money. You know what I mean? I
let
like
you know. Yeah.
spending Jay's money.
Yeah. Goddamn, believe me, I spent plenty of it in the sports books. You know what? There's
Yeah.
87, 89, 91 octane. Scott is right now at 95. Okay. I'm just telling you, it's jet full. Okay. All right. All right. We got a couple minutes left. Let's talk about hockey.
Oh,
Um, I'm in mourning
oh.
right now. We traded our captain, Brad Marchand, from Boston down to
Yeah.
Florida.
I didn't know
It's a
what
sad
Ash
moment.
Wednesday. I didn't know what Ash Wednesday meant until that happened. You know.
Ah, yeah, put the knife to my throat, right? Son
Yeah.
of a
How
bitch.
how do you offer Marchand 2 years, $3 million?
I don't
That was
know.
the offer.
I
That's
know.
an eight
I
million
know.
dollar player a year.
At least a six. At least a six. Yes.
All right, yeah, but
Okay. I
he says eight, they say three. You go, you
yeah,
meet
yeah,
at
I'm in.
six.
Amen. I'm in. Okay, fine.
You know what I
But
mean?
I was disillusioned by it. I mean, to me, obviously, they made the decision 2 or 3 weeks ago. We're selling everybody. We're not bringing
Yeah,
it. We're not
I
bringing back
get
the
agree.
band.
No,
Everybody's
they're
going.
not.
Charlo's going. Everybody's going. We are
Yep.
2 years away from having the highest point total in the history of the NHL. To literally, we might as well be a franchise, and we're not even a franchise because with Vegas and Seattle, they did eminently well in their first years. We are
Yep.
literally worse than new franchise. But
Yep. Oh, welcome to the Ducks life.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
oh my God.
You know,
But
th-
I was proud. I was proud that he wanted to stay on the East Coast for his family. They tried to accommodate him. They put him in Florida. Florida becomes even bigger monster. What do you think about
well,
Florida?
well, yeah. So he was a restricted free agent, and he said the only place he would go would be the Panthers. So they
Okay.
had to accept it. That's why that happened.
Okay.
He straight
Okay.
up picked where he wanted to be. And
Player empowerment.
yeah. I mean, the Cup is going to go through Florida. It's either the Tampa Bay Lightning or the Panthers. On the East Coast. And
Yeah,
then,
especially New Jersey without Hughes.
yeah, that broken collarbone is horrible.
That's
Yeah,
terrible.
he slid from the blue line into the wall just enough to jack himself
Right.
up. That guy is another player that I told you New Jersey was my pick to win the Cup
Yes.
before the
Yeah.
season started.
You did.
Barring injuries, but this kid is starting to become injury prone. I mean, are we looking at possibly a couple 3 years that they're going to get rid of him just because of injury prone? It's going to be
Are
so
we
sad.
looking are we looking at, and it's not the same thing, but it is the same thing, Eric Lindros. Eminently
Yep.
talented guy who just can't get on the ice. And
Yep.
now Eric Lindros had a lot of concussions, whatever, but ice time is ice time.
Ice time's ice time. You can have that speed, but you lose
Yeah.
that touch. You lose that touch. And
So,
then, I like the Stars in Edmonton coming out of the west side though. The central of the
you know,
west.
for me, I'm looking at hockey, and I think 6 of the 8 best teams in hockey are in the West.
Yeah.
I agree with you about the Florida teams are the hands above the best in the East, but I look at the West, and Dallas really got better. Colorado
Yep.
got better.
Yep.
I'm always scared of Vegas. I'm very
Yep.
scared of Vegas. We haven't seen a lot from Vancouver. I just don't know if last year was a fluke or they're in some
Uh,
place. I don't know where that is.
you look
But
at the numbers, they're so below what they did last year.
mhm,
They're so below.
you're right.
You
They are.
know,
They are.
if they weren't
Absolutely.
so aggressive in front of the net, they'd be even further down.
Yeah. To
They're
me,
very
to,
aggressive in front of the net.
to me, the two teams in the West are the Stars and Colorado. Edmonton, I didn't even
Huh?
mention them. That those guys are monsters.
They're
I mean,
monsters. I
but
I I think Edmonton is lining up to not play against the Kings. They want the Knights versus Kings.
I
The
agree. That's a
and
real smart play,
let them beat them each other up. That's what I
right?
think they're trying to do because they know if they get in a slugfest early on, that McDavid and Dries, they just get slowed down.
I
And
agree.
they can't they ran out of gas at the end. I mean, they made it to game 7 last year, but I think they ran out of gas. And you
I
need a
agree.
keeper. They didn't go for a keeper. I was really surprised about that because at the end, you get a hot goal, you win. They can't
I agree.
score 5, 6 goals every game. We saw that last year. We've seen that last
Right.
2 years. You know,
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, you can have the argument about Edmonton's beating up the Kings last 2, 3 seasons in postseason for the cup. But I mean, come on,
Yeah.
you got to think about how you're battling every other night against
Yeah.
a
Going
team.
to the finals, is exhausting. I think we saw that for the first 2 months with Edmonton. Right? I
Yeah,
mean, I think they still had a lag, right? I mean, the Tampa Bay experience where they went to 3 straight finals, I think is pretty damn rare. I
yeah,
worry
huge.
about what happens, right? With that.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right.
But you bet on if Corey Perry's on the team, most likely you're gonna get second.
Oh, you're the best. Oh, you're the best.
that seems to be the kiss of death.
It
You get
does.
Perry on the team and you can't win the cup.
It
It
does.
happened at Tampa Bay. Happened to
Corey Perry.
Edmonton.
Corey Perry is going to be like that guy like Elon Musk talks. He's going to be 102 and they're going to keep him on the roster because it means they get to the finals.
Yes, yes, yes. Yep, yep.
Anything else you
Ah.
want to talk about hockey for this week, brother?
Oh no, that's pretty much it that I want.
All
I
right.
mean, I know we're on a short time lapse and this is our test run, so
We're
yeah,
trying to, yeah, we're trying to keep it at 20 minutes. We're going to upload this
yeah.
tonight. Everybody out there, hit subscribe and like. Brother Scott's going to be on here whenever he wants. He is the best. He's one of my best
Oh,
friends, and he is one of the most knowledgeable people in the world of sports. Even though he talks crazy, and when he does, don't you worry, I'm going to put him in his space.
oh
But
yeah. Hey, hey, can we get a little bit of this J money though? The March Madness, Houston, really?
oh, you heard that? Yes,
Oh
I
yeah, I've
am.
been paying. I
Oh,
pay
you're the
attention.
best.
I gotta come in loaded. You know what I mean?
I'm a loser.
Hey,
I will tell this story. I will tell this story. I've got a lot of gambling stories with Scott, but it was probably I'm going to say 20 years ago. And we stopped at we were at a mutual friend's house, and I was going up to bet Kansas to win the NCAA tournament. Kansas was going to win, no
yeah,
doubt. Jay knew everything, and Scott sits
yeah.
there and goes, "You got to bet Duke." And I said, "Duke doesn't have a chance. Krzyzewski's old. He's washed up." Well, make short story long, Duke won. Kansas lost in the Final Four, and it
Yeah.
was like, "Yep, Scott knew. Scott knew."
And I remember asking you for a bet, and you told me
Yeah.
I don't bet against my
Yes.
own bet. That's
Yes.
bad juju.
That was
And
yes. It was.
I
Yes.
said, I respect that. I totally respect that. And then
I wish you would have done it.
after that, it seems like you do my bets now.
Yeah, I do. Because it didn't work. It didn't matter. At least somebody would have made some money.
Right?
And anybody who can take down a casino is cool by me. I don't care. It
Amen.
doesn't really
Amen.
matter. F
Hey,
them
I'm
all.
looking for that JT casino one day. One day when you win big.
you you will. You will, man. Unfortunately, it's gonna be 30 miles outside Barstow. Nobody's gonna go to it except indigent desert dwellers.
How?
Yeah.
How? Me, Indian J.
Exactly. God bless you. All right, Scott. It's always nice
All
to
right.
see you. I'll see you soon. Stay on the line. We got to upload. And
Yes, sir.
everybody out there, leave some comments unless they're bad about me, and then you can go F yourself. But if you wanna bring up something, no, we're more than willing to talk about anything. Doesn't mean we have all the answers, but we're always gonna be
Yeah.
entertaining. That's you,
Now we'll
Scott. You're
shoot
the
from the
best.
hip. We'll
There we
shoot
go.
from the hip. All
All
righty.
right, everybody. I'll see you soon. Okay, bye.
All right.